Hey everybody, this is Viper4724, and I said I wanted to do another Shefet monitor deck. Wasn't sure exactly, who I was going to use it with or what I was going to do to implement it, and perfect opportunity came up going against the 2.2 boss, which is the Honored Hydra. I wanted to use Kiora for this just to get away from the Drakes and to get away from N3, just in case, a lot of people don't have her yet. If you don't have her, definitely I suggest to get her. She's a majorly great planeswalker in the set currently out right now. She's excellent. Kiora, if you don't have her, you should have her. She's by far one of the best planeswalkers available in the entire game. She's great through and through. You can use each one of her abilities in every way. Love having her. So I decided to go with her so you could see how I use her with her abilities with the Shefet monitor. So let's take a look at the deck that I'm using. I'm only going to use one mythic. If you have archives, you can use that. I definitely suggest using the Curator of Mysteries. Obviously, if you have it, definite must, great. If you don't have it, you should still be able to make it through in all your matches with this. The key here is the Shefet monitor. I just want to show you how great it is. A big bonus is the Animus Awakening. It's from Origins. Convert a green gem to a one-turn countdown special gem. On match, convert 5 gems to green. If there are 8 or more green gems, convert 5 gems to green. Great spell to use. Great green conversion. Obviously, any green deck you use, it's a great card to use in it. Now, for 2.2, you have to put defenders out in play. So that's why I have the Courier. That's why I have the Gorger. If you have the Courier, it's a great card to use to cycle through cards as well, because you can completely refill your hand. Now, obviously, I'm still using New Perspectives here. If you have New Perspectives, it's a great card to use in any deck that you're going to be using cycling. As you can see, go ahead and take a look at that. I'm not going to read through it. I am going to get into the match. Also, I want to point out Sphinx's Tutelage. Pretty much stops your opponent from being able to play almost any card. So let's hop right in and take a look how this deck works. Now, I do have defenders in here right now. You can really put any creatures you want in your deck. It's great. I get to start out with New Perspectives, which is awesome. That's exactly what we want. It lets you literally cycle through your entire deck until you get the hand that you want. That's what's so awesome about it. Obviously, I get another play here, so I'm going to start with that. Start getting cards in my hand. Start cycling through. Now, I want to get Animus Awakening on the board. I want to get Tutelage on the board, and I'd love to draw some more cards. Make sure that you're blacking out the cards that you don't want to use. You usually don't want to use any of your cycling cards. There are some cases that you do want to use them. Maybe we'll be able to take a look at them during this match, but most times you want to stop them from being played just so you can use them in the future. So let's get that Awakening out onto the board. And here we go. We're going to turn some gems to green. We want to get the Tutelage out on the board. We want to get another New Perspectives going, and we want to get the Curator Mysteries out on the board. Now, let's cycle through. And I'm sorry if this takes a while. You never know how long it's going to take. But what I'm going to do is cycle through until I find the Shefet monitor. Obviously, I want to highlight his ability, and I want to show you exactly what he can do. And as you can see, I am running into a little bit of a problem by not being able to draw multiple cards at the same time. I definitely need this curated, or want this curated mysteries on the board. It's going to make everything a lot easier. So at this point, I'm going to stop cycling. Going to play another Animus Awakening. There we go. We're going to get the Awakening on the board, and we're going to get the mysteries out. What he does is he makes it so you draw 2 cards every single time you cycle one. This pretty much guarantees that you'll be able to get the card that you need now. As you can see, whereas before, if I didn't get another cycling card when I cycled, I was kind of at a disability there. Now I can get rid of those cards that I wasn't able to use, and I can continue to cycle with the other one. Once again, ended up where I can't continue to cycle, which is fine. We're still sitting pretty well in this match. Also, another good thing, I do have 3 defenders in my hand, which is one of the objectives that I'm going for right now. I'm going to get rid of one of my perspectives, try to play this tutelage, and maybe get that perspective out on the board. I don't think I will this turn, but that's completely fine. That's no fun when they get rid of one of your supports, which is exactly why I kept one of the new perspectives in my hand. I am going to cycle through that. And as you can see, I got a Shefet monitor. That's huge. That's exactly what I'm going for. Through here, we should be able to speed up the game a lot. I want to hold him in my hand. I don't want the sensor to play either. I do want that new perspectives to play. So what we are going to do to get that to play is go the long way around. Don't get me wrong, I know the blue match gets me a lot more, but it also gets rid of one of the cards in my hand, and I wanted every card in my hand at that point. So we've got everything we need right now to start moving through the deck. Now, this does say cycling 6. It actually takes 7 right now because of a bug. I've never submitted a ticket for it, but that's just the way it is. So even though we have that sensor that we could cycle right now, we're not going to. We're just going to go with the Shefet monitor and see what we can get here. Hopefully we can fill that Animus Awakening. As you can see, when you put that Shefet monitor out, it gets stuff moving on the board. And now we have that Animus Awakening coming out, another sensor. Now if I wanted to, I could censor the first card in his deck and get rid of it. Yeah, that's fine. It's not a bad thing to do, but I would rather have another monitor in my hand. And it doesn't look like we're going to get it. But we're going to try. There it is. Okay, so we got another monitor. Now we're just going to go to town here for a second. Now, as you can see, I was getting rid of the courier instead of the gorger. The reason I was getting rid of the courier is because if I have to cycle through my hand, he's not as big of a deal. Just personal preference on my part, I guess. But it doesn't matter either way. As you can see now, we're going to get a lot more green gems on the board. A lot more options to choose from when we change our own gems. We have 2 Animus Awakenings that are going to be going on the board. A Gorger that's going into play, a Courier that's probably going to play, and I'm actually going to cycle until I can't, well, not necessarily until I can't anymore, but now, once again, another Gorger, or another Shefet monitor. So, let's use them again. This keeps filling your hand up. It keeps getting the other player's card to cost more. And as you can see, I went long enough where I can actually play right now and still get another turn. So, why not? Now, we're only on turn 3 or 4. I mean, only because this took a little bit longer than normal to get out. But right down here, we have 2 awakenings ready to pop. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures already on the board. We have hit our objectives with the defenders, and we're 1 objective away from hitting the spells. He can't attack because we have the defenders on the board. I have every option in the world. I can either take mana, I can get another creature, I can do whatever I want. I'm actually going to go for another creature right now. And I actually got a monitor, which is great. That's what I was hoping for. I'm going to cycle so I can draw 2 more cards. Perfect. That's completely fine. So we already got the tutelage out, the courier, and there we go. And as you can see, I've got her second ability right back already, because every time we cycle that monitor and every time we blow up with all the green gems on the board, we're filling her ability bar. So any cards that you're going to add to that monitor deck, it's all about getting as much as you can out of it, adding to it as much as possible. I absolutely love the card. I actually like it a lot more than the Drake set even, just because it's so much more versatile. So now, as you can see, the first card in his hand has mana in it. I have a new perspectives in my hand. I'm actually just going to take away 6 from him, give myself 6. And see what else we're going to do here. So I should get another play. I am going to get a new handful. Two more creatures on top of that. Like I said, once again, I mean, as you can see, I'm using defenders. It doesn't even matter what cards or creatures you want to use, because you're going to be filling their mana bar either way. Let's see here. Okay, so I do need to play one more spell still. Believe it or not, this game's only going to last a couple more turns. I'm sorry. Let's see here. But yeah, the game's only going to last a couple more turns. I've already got tons of creatures out in play. I want another tutelage on the board as soon as possible so I don't lose that one single gem that I do have. Okay, so once again, tons of mana gain with the Shefet monitor. We're going to get a couple more creatures on the board here. I'm actually going to start getting rid of these because I do need to play one more spell. Not a big deal. Not worried at all about it. Okay, so get rid of the courier. We're going to load another monitor. Okay, so perfect spell to play. As you can see, the monitor once you get 2 in a row, it's absolutely huge, guaranteed to just blow up the board. So we have our Animus Awakening, which we're going to use for our spell. We're going to be drawing some cards, adding a few more creatures to the board. I'm just going to go with that, actually. There's our 5th spell for the match. More defenders, more creatures on the board. And I know the match has taken a little bit, but I mean, I'm using smaller defending creatures instead of some major creatures that you could be using instead. I hope you guys really see the use of the monitor. If you have the monitor, put it in any deck. He just absolutely blows up the board with green gems. He's absolutely worth using. As you can see, once you add in that Sphinx's tutelage, just continue to cycle through everything. Take advantage of the cheap cards that you can possibly have. And as you can see, I'm about to win the match right here. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope it was a worthwhile watch. I love Kiora. You can really use most green things. It's definite advantage to have the blue for the extra cycling help with the new perspectives, especially. If you have any suggestions, anything that you're looking for, please contact me directly. Leave me a message on the video. I really appreciate all the new people that are signing up to or subscribing to the channel. Anything that you're looking for, let me know. I'm happy to provide it for you if I can. I love having views on my videos, and I love having new subscribers. So thank you, everybody. I'm Viper4724. Have a great night.